If calendars, chores, notes, and reminders are living rent free in your head, today is for you. I am joined by Susie Harrison, co founder of Hearth, the first technology platform designed with tools to empower kids and make family coordination easier. Hearth has been named one of Time's best inventions, is featured in the New York Times and Forbes and The Strategist, TechCrunch, House Beautiful, and even more. We're going to talk motherhood, the invisible work that comes with running a household, what sets Hearth apart, and how AI can really support families today. I'm Sarah, the founder of AI Empowered Mom. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. I've been so looking forward to this conversation.
Well, can we just start off by learning a little bit more about you? Can you share a little bit about yourself and your family life?
I live with my husband and my 16-month-old son, and one on the way as well. So, very busy over
Congratulations.
here. Thank you so much. Thank you. And yeah, I think our days look similar to a lot of families. I think they're chaotic, they're full, they involve a lot of logistics and coordination, which obviously went into the concept of founding Hearth. But right now, our days look like getting our son off to school in the mornings. I'm usually online, honestly, by 7:15, 7:30. And he has a busy day at school. I have a busy day at work. And then we get home and do bedtime routine like many families do.
You referenced what prompted you to start Hearth. Can you take us back and tell us why did you create this product?
Yes, I would love to. So there's three founders of Hearth, and we all have quite a lot in common. We all have working moms, and so we witnessed kind of this duality of working moms both balancing their professional careers while also managing so many logistics at home. We're all eldest daughters, so I think we have kind of a unique point of view into how a household runs and what it takes to support that system. And then we all worked in tech as well. We started to see how project management systems could actually help create efficiencies inside of a business. And we
Mhm.
started to wonder, why didn't those things exist inside the home? And how could we improve those systems at home so that there wasn't one primary default caregiver that was carrying the weight of all of those things by themselves? Final insight, because this has become increasingly important in our journey, is that we all have experience working with kids. And it was really important to us from the very beginning to design Hearth as a system that could be a shared experience used by everyone, but in particular designed specifically for kids and how they might want to use a product like this.
For those who might not be familiar, can you share a little bit more about what Hearth is and how it works?
Yeah, absolutely. The vision behind Hearth is to build the family operating system. So, to create one shared system that all family members can participate in. And our first product that we brought to market is called Hearth Display. Hearth Display is a shared digital touchscreen that hangs in a central location in your family's home. And it brings all of the disaggregated systems that you probably use today into one place. Things like calendars, chores, lists, meal planning, kids' routines. Our goal is to take all of those things and bring it together in one trusted system so that everyone knows where they can access that information.
Before we get too far away from it, you caught my attention saying you're all eldest daughters on the co-founding team. What's it like with a team of three eldest daughters?
Yeah, we're three eldest daughters and three moms as well. And so I think the reason that it works is because we all bring our own unique experiences into Hearth. I spent a lot of my career building and growth and marketing for actually a lot of companies building specifically for kids.
Mhm.
And then one of my co-founders spent a lot of her time in operations, supply chain, hardware. She manages all of those pieces for us now. And then my third co-founder leads product and product design for us. So we all have our own individual areas of expertise. And I think the reason it works is because we have a mutual respect for everyone's individual areas of expertise that they bring to the company.
Well, it's a good time to be an eldest daughter right now with Taylor Swift's new album. We're getting
Very
the
much is.
respect that we are due.
Yes.
Well, I read about Hearth in the New York Times in an article recently that covered digital family displays. And the article introduced an idea of a calendar partner, referencing the work of Allison Damager. It had not occurred to me before that there might be one calendar partner that's running the household.
Yeah, statistics do show that there typically is one primary caregiver inside the home that is shouldering more of the mental load than their partner. There's no surprise that that type of dynamic exists within a home when there's not a shared system for everyone to participate in. I have a optimistic view of the way that partners and just the larger household in general can work together when there's a shared system in place. I believe that partners and kids actually want to participate in a system. They want to be involved. They want to know what's coming up. They want to know what's next in their day. But how can they possibly know that if there's not a shared visible system that
Right.
everyone can access? So I personally believe that in many, many households today, the desire for participation is there. It's just that that participation is not possible without creating a shared system like Hearth.
Well, after shipping and scaling your first product, what have you learned about families and the mental load?
Prior to ever going into product development, we interviewed about 5,000 families to
Wow.
validate what the problem set was, how they were solving it prior to Hearth existing, and what the gaps were. And that research was fundamental in forming the hypotheses we had around the product. And because of that, our view of what the solution needed to be has not really shifted. We started building Hearth 5 years ago. We were the first product in the space. We're the category creator in the space. And the product that we set out to build 5 years ago is still the product that you see today. And it's still the product that's impacting families today. We have, of course, had some fun anecdotal, stories from customers that have helped inform how Hearth continues to evolve. The family onboarded to Hearth, got their system set up, got Hearth, hanging in their home. And this woman's daughter came to her, looked at the to-do list feature on Hearth and said, "Mommy, why is your list so much longer than everyone else's?" And to me, that was the perfect characterization of one of the benefits of Hearth, which is visibility. We
Yeah.
really believe that one of the key pieces of the solution is that the work has to be highly visible because so much of the work that goes into managing a household is invisible. And it was just such a perfect characterization to me of the often imbalance that occurs and how Hearth can illuminate that imbalance exists and then create the opportunity for the family to have conversations around how that should change.
What a way to make the invisible labor visible right there to everybody, even the kids. Given all that you've learned about families and routines, the mental load and invisible labor, are there ways to make these learnings accessible to families who might find the price point of a digital display system like this out of reach?
There are ways to implement these systems in your home, even if Hearth might not be the perfect tool for your family for a variety of reasons. I think the most important piece that is challenging to do without Hearth, but I think is possible, is to create one shared system that
Mhm.
is truly the source of truth
Mm.
inside the home. That is really the goal. Because what happens is parents and kids alike are often looking at anywhere between 5 to 7 disaggregated sources of information at any one time, right? You might have an analog routines chart. You might have an analog school calendar. Then you also have a Google calendar that maybe houses a work calendar, et cetera, right? The list goes
Right.
on, a soccer tournament schedule, et cetera. Because those things are all disaggregated and not constantly up to date, that's where we see the problem. And so
Mm.
I think even if you aren't going to use a system like Hearth, one single source of truth in your home where everyone knows this is where I go to self-serve this information that I can trust and know exists is really the key to getting everyone on board with a system that lives outside of the primary caregiver's brain.
If it's all over the place, then I know what my kids and wonderful partner default to, which is just asking me.
Exactly, because they don't trust that system, they
Right.
don't trust that that system is up to date, but they know your brain is up to date. And so they're going to come to you instead.
We're close. Somewhere,
Yeah.
somewhere in the neighborhood of up to
They
date.
know it's the most up to date system in the home.
That's right. That's right. Well, what about the AI of it all, Susie? First, I'm curious, like how you use AI as a mom, a busy mom with running a household and a company. Where does AI live in your life?
It is wild to me how deeply AI is integrated into my life already,
Mhm.
even though, of course, it still feels like a new tool that we're all learning and exploring. It is deeply integrated into my professional and personal life. From a professional POV, I think it helps me be highly efficient. We're still a small startup. We have a lean team. We're trying to build this like mission driven company with very limited resources. And from that perspective, AI is an unlock to just extend our team and extend our resourcing and make those things go further. And that I think has been super empowering. On the personal side, I use Hearth's AI product. We have an AI agentic assistant called Hearth Helper, which is our AI layer inside of the Hearth product. And Hearth Helper does many of my personal things for me. So Hearth Helper automatically imports all of my calendar events for me. It imports to-do lists. It imports my meal plans for me. And it also can generate a lot of those things for me. So if I don't want to plan my meals for the week for my family, Hearth Helper can suggest meals for me based on my family's personalized needs and dietary restrictions, etc. And so on the personal side, I really lean on our own product to help alleviate some of that mental load at time.
What would you say to parents and caregivers out there who find themselves hesitant or reluctant to bring AI into their home? What encouragement might you offer them?
I really think it does depend on the product and
Mhm.
doing some due diligence around the way that AI is being used and the control you have over that AI system. It's not meant to replace a parent's intuition, like that's not the goal.
Is there anything that you hold back from technology or AI specifically in your household? Where does AI or technology not find a space in the way that you run and manage your household?
There's definitely areas, there's definitely areas where AI is not present in my household. I think the first one that comes to mind as it relates to this conversation, my mom intuition. There are just things about raising children that I feel intuitively I know my kids so well and I know what the next step is. And I don't need AI to inform those things. So I know that's a broad answer, but that's the first thing that comes to mind for me. Going back to the beginning when we talked about eldest daughter, all these
Mhm.
things, like I didn't think I would be that way as a mom. I thought that I would need so much research and so much structure and so much like organization when it came to raising a family because that's how I approach work. But actually, as a mom, I'm quite in many ways the opposite. I'm mostly reliant on my intuition and reliant on understanding my kid, and I'm not really thinking about all of those things that I might be thinking about at work, which was very surprising to me.
Well, what's next for you besides increasing the size of your household and for Hearth? What are you looking forward to?
For me personally, uh, having another baby for Hearth. Oh my gosh, there's so many things on the horizon for us. But I think we're focused on deepening how families share ownership. I think our vision has always been, since day one, to truly be the family operating system inside the home. And I think while I'm so proud of the product today, I think we've just scratched the surface of what that can look like.
Well, if you will indulge me, I would love to switch gears into our chatbot mode and just make you the chatbot now. I will ask you a few questions and you could just confidently respond with your answer, just like AI would do for
I
me.
love it.
So, first, just want to know if you have a favorite book or a podcast you're enjoying to recommend. We have a little book club thing going, so I always love to get a good book club or podcast recommendation.
My favorite book since high school has been The Alchemist, which is just a beautiful story about what it looks like to go after the things your heart desires the most, to go after your true purpose. And it's always just felt very aligned with for me because I've always worked on projects or initiatives or companies that felt very deeply aligned with who I am as a person.
What about a recent win? In the AI empowered mom community, we are all about celebrating moms' wins. So, can you share one of your wins that we can celebrate?
Hearing from moms who feel like Hearth is actually making an impact in their home, like that is what feels like such a win to me. Literally, just before you and I hopped on here, I was on the phone with a mom who said, "Oh my gosh, like for the first time ever, my child got ready for the day without me having to prompt that process because of the Hearth Routines feature." And to me, those are like the wins that I take with me.
And that's so beautiful because that's sort of a theme here in the AI empowered mom community that if I ask a mom for her win, she shares another mom's win, which is just what you did. So, congrats to you and congrats to that mom out there and
Thank you.
congrats to that kid who got themselves
Yes.
ready
Yes.
today. Do you have a low tech mom hack from your own life with a 16-month-old? What's getting you through the days or nights these days?
Honestly, also equally generic, but the literal first thing that came to my mind is to go outside. Like, I read this quote, I'm sure you saw it, but it was like, bringing your children outside is the low tech way to like unplug and plug them back in. I feel like I spend my whole day on screens. He's inside. I'm like, we just got to go outside. That is my hack.
What's a feature you're most proud of at Hearth right now?
So many, but the one that comes to mind is a feature that we just launched called Today's Feelings. It helps kids name their emotions and helps open up that conversation between parent and child where you can actually talk about what that emotion means. And then in addition to helping kids track their emotions, we actually provide insights reports to parents. So you can learn what your kid's most common emotion was over the past month, things that you might want to watch out for, etc. So I've been really proud of that launch.
And I have 3 daughters, and they're within 18 months of each other. And
Whoa.
one thing that I carry mom guilt about is just like they're just a little herd. So that appeals to me, the idea of being able to look at each one more individually, because I can tell you the vibe of the household, how we're doing collectively. I can't always keep my finger on how each individual person is doing, and that's something that keeps me up at night. So I love that feature.
And I think, just even me as an adult, how do I feel today? Like that is a hard question to answer sometimes, right? Like really taking the space to verbalize that emotion and characterize what that emotion actually is
Mhm.
challenging as an adult. And so I think teaching that behavior for kids and opening up the space for that conversation has been really transformative.
When we were just warming up today, we talked about Black Friday on the horizon. So I can't believe it, but it's already time to start thinking about the holidays. Do you have any tips for moms who are thinking about how to get ready for the holiday season this year and make the most of it without, falling apart in the meantime?
Yeah, I think easier said than done, but I honestly really do believe in the power of this shared system to make it a more seamless process. And so, my biggest advice, again, hopefully this is happening on Hearth, but it could happen elsewhere as well. Create shared lists, like shared lists that are highly visible. Create shared lists and delegate those things easily across the family. You can also create lists that like just you and your partner sees, but really regardless of whether or not it's on Hearth, shared lists and delegating some of those pieces early on, I think is really, really critical to feeling like you actually can enjoy the holiday alongside your family.
Good reminder. Get it out of my brain and get it somewhere where it can be seen. Well, last question for you is just what's one thing you hope moms and caregivers take away from this conversation?
My biggest takeaway is honestly that a shared system that everyone is aligned on really creates the opportunity for connection inside a home.
Well, I think I'm going to take away not only that coordination and the family management needs to get out of my head, but it needs to get out of my phone too, because in my phone, it's still an extension of me. So I love thinking about what routines and what shared systems can bring visibility to that and can be detached from
Yes,
my person.
exactly.
For folks who want to learn more about Hearth, I think they can go to hearthdisplay.com or follow along at Hearth Display on social.
I think the only other two call outs is that we're actually hosting Hearth show and tell experiences coming up. So
Mhm.
if you want a deeper dive into what Hearth is doing, you can go to our website and all the details are there about how you can participate in a Hearth show and tell. And then, of course, next month is Black Friday. And so we will be offering our best sale of the year next month in case anybody is interested in
Ooh.
trying Hearth in their own home.
Okay, final notes for the AI empowered mom community. First, shout out to AI empowered mom Christy, who helped Susie and me get connected from the first time. She is a Hearth user. So, shout out Christy for getting us connected here. Appreciate you so much. And we've got our first AI empowered mom book club meeting coming up in November. We are reading Careless People. So if you'd like to join in the fun, email me at contact@aiempoweredmom.com. It'll be at the end of November to give plenty of people time to read between now and then. And I just want to thank you once again, Susie, for being here. And thanks everybody for listening to AI Empowered Mom. If today sparked an idea or made your load feel a little bit lighter, I hope you'll share that with a friend or let us know. And we'll see you right back here next time. Thank you
Thanks
so
so much
much.
for having me, Sarah.